Hey everybody. Oh man, we got a great show for you today. Heck, all my shows I think are great, but you guys make it better. And you know why? Because you're tuning in to the best and the only sex holiday on record and on calendar. For the last 3 years, we have been the ones that put it out there and you guys keep it alive. My name is DJ Rick and I'm the host of National Sex Day podcast. Again, we are the only sex holiday on record. We put it on calendar, we put it on record, it's been certified, and everything else we need to make it an observance. So we talk about safe sex, we talk about STD and prevention, we talk about the adult industry and the safety in the industry, we talk about anal sex day, oral sex day, swingers day, and anything else in between because we are about sexual freedom, sexual safety, sexual health. We talk to health professionals, counseling people. We also have sex coaches that can kind of help you in the bedroom because sometimes you need a little bit of a spark, and we got the people that can give it to you or become one yourself and help those in need. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it's all about it. And like I said, you guys make it worth what we do, and we thank each and every one of you. We are on XBiz TV. We're always trending on that site. We have a YouTube channel. We're also on Twitter. We're also on Beluski, and I'm here to tell you guys, anytime we put it out there, we trend, we get people interested. And SLS Radio, Swingers Lifestyle Radio, those people, they have done a lot of things for us with the audio portion of what we do. This December 13th, we're going to be in Richardson, Texas, doing one of the biggest sexual expos in our state. Haven't had one since Exotica back in 2016, and this one is going to be the biggest and best one. We're going to leave the link at the end of the show. You click on it, go check it out. December 13th, 14th, 15th, and National Sex Day is going to be one of the premier podcast online live talking to people most of the weekend. And we want you guys to come up and tell us something. Say hello, say hi, promote what you got, get your platforms out there. We're all about it. 7 billion people on the earth, and I'm the only one that has National Sex Day. It's got to be something. Speaking of something, I've waited a long time to get this hot young lady on my show. Sometimes in life you have the bump in the roads, and we all have our hangups because life's going to get in the way. We can't wave our magic wands and make it right. But you know what? We can promote the people and help them make it right. She's got good clips, great content, and I love her smile. And if she was in a DFW area, I'd be snuggling up with her on those cold nights because winter's here. Man, forget about your electric bill and an electric blanket. Get you a hottie, get under the covers, and make it right. Sweetheart, who are you? Say your name and tell us what you do.
Hi, I'm Laci Foxx, and I make adult content, fetish, and kink.
Are you sure you're a fox? Because I think you are.
Well, hopefully.
Oh,
I just
yes.
want to say hi to the viewers and the listeners as well, too. So,
Oh, guys, she's foxy. I'm telling you, man, if you got a hunting permit, that's the fox you want, okay? You can take her out and take her in, and when you see her content, she's going to heat you up. And she's got a lot of good things out there. I love what you have on your platforms. I like the content you're making and the direction that you're going. And, sweetheart, you have a story to tell, and people want to hear it, okay?
good, because I can talk for a while. I just had coffee. So,
Hey man, coffee. That's like the elixir right there. And it's coffee
yeah,
time, soup time. I'm kind of dating this episode because we all are getting to winter now. We had a bunch of stuff that went on this summer, but I'm telling you, man, winter stuff is just as good. The major holidays are coming up, but you know what? Doesn't mean we can't party, doesn't mean we can't promote, but we prepare ourselves for next year. And that's kind of the direction we're doing now and getting people out there. So first and foremost, what in the world made you get into adult entertainment? You probably said, you know what, that looks like fun, and I'm going to do it. And you got yourself a start. So how did you get started with what you're doing?
I have always been somewhat interested in the adult industry of things.
Mhm.
Magazines. I remember like seeing magazines and stuff when I was younger, and it always interested me in all aspects, like front of the camera, behind the camera. I did like some modeling in my 20s, pretty much just like portfolio building for other people, just to do it. And I started out basically by selling my used clothing and fetish pictures and videos online. So that's kind of how I started, and it just kind of like spiraled into what is becoming today, which is me doing like content with other people, fan sites, and there's also I've been kind of like dabbling and making like a little house, a little den for like the kink stuff and the fetish stuff because I'm trying to incorporate it just because I enjoy it. I love it so much. And I think it's important for people to have that outlet of expression, that healthy um, um, zone of places to be and to know that, you know, the cut and dry of things, it's okay to like certain things, like the way used underwear smell or armpits or feet or, all kinds of stuff because I feel like even sex, it's like talking about it, like it's just taboo. So even those like I call them little things. They're not little things. They're big for some people, but just those other little things that people don't talk, or even like more like feet, like people are made fun of because they like feet, and it's just ridiculous. Because I like feet. I like socked feet. So I like socked feet. That's my preference. I also have other kinks and fetishes, but I'm getting off topic. But that's how I got started was selling used clothing, pictures, videos, and it keeps going further and branching out more. And I just love every little direction it's going.
And that's the thing. We want people to express that. There's everything that's out there beyond quote missionary. It's just we know there's kinks, there's fetishes. Everybody has what tick they have that's going to make them tick. And some things are not sexual. Like you said, people love the feet thing. Some people, I have a hand fetish. I love pretty hands on a woman. I do.
I do too. I have a hand fetish.
I love hands. I'm not the one that likes to fake fingernails that are this long and their claws and oh God, it drives me crazy. And I hate unkept, dirty fingernails and chipped nail polish. Okay, I've backed out of dates like because her hands are all jacked up. But that's a turnoff for me. It's a turnoff for me. You can be the prettiest thing out there, and you know what? We might even dance to dance when I get home, but I'm not going to make it a habit. If the hands aren't together, it just kind of throws it for me. But sometimes that can be overlooked. However, we tell people this is why we do what we do. We put it all together. If that turns you on, say this is why, or this is how, or this is how this is properly done. And like you said, you're selling stuff. It's a business. You're selling pictures. You're selling underwear. People, there's a market for everything. If you can buy that one girl's farts for $250 a jar and everybody gave her a hard time, well, think about it, man. She does it every day, and there's some fool out there that thinks he's won. She's making money. It's legit. It is the law. It is legal. And I'm pretty sure we can live off of one of her paychecks, I bet.
Right. And it's not hurting anybody. Like it's fine.
Yeah.
It's just I think the people that are most uncomfortable with it make a joke out of it because they don't know how to do anything else besides laugh at it because they don't get the concept, which you don't have to. It's not for you, right? So don't yuck someone else's yum because it's not for you. Just move
That part,
along.
that part right there. That part is you like it, they may not, and even in some relationships, we include that too. It's not always about the adult industry, but the thing is, people who say it doesn't work for them anymore in the bedroom, they will find something to do that. Married couples go into the adult stores and they rock it. They rock it, man. They go in there and bet. They find what they want, bring it home, whatever. They're not exhibitionists. They just want to make their thing enhance. And sometimes people say we watch other forms of quote unquote production, and we do that with our partners. Again, we understand all that, but from the adult industry, you guys always get a hard time. No one talks about the producers. No one talks about the directors, the writers, the lighting. It's always a bougie thing about the talent.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah. And it's and I've dated, like when I say dated, I mean loosely, like, we went out a couple times or something that were just like, well, you're like kind of at the end of your career, right? Like because of your age. And I'm like, no, no, not really. Like that's just a stigma that, media or production companies put out there because, you know, being, in the Midwest and, being bigger and middle-aged, for me, it seems pretty like regular, but for what I do, it's not as common, but there's also a lot less people who, look a lot opposite than I do that live around here. So of course, depending on where you are and what you do, like how you were raised, your background, all that ethnicity, like it is culture, like everything. It just kind of depends. I had a piece of land on my nose.
Well, the thing about
I
it
might
is,
have just went cross-eyed.
the thing
Anyway,
about
I'm so
the thing about this is, not to cut you off there, but the thing about it is you hit the nail on the head. See, the industry has changed so much that people are getting back to what we would consider the norm. You look at 70s, 80s porn, more enhanced this, more enhanced that, surgeries and stuff. And some people still do that. If you do, that's your thing. But I've heard that people want the more next to, girl next to, more average person that you can dress up. Every size is more accepted now because we're breaking down stigmas and stuff. But I also figured out that a lot of men, they may not say it, but a majority say, hey, if a woman is mature and got her stuff together, we'll go for it, opposed to the 19 and 20-year-old. And I've interviewed the last couple of times on this program people that said they thought their career was over. One lady started hers in her 50s. She never did this before and has over 22,000 people rocking her stuff every time she gets on Twitter. So again, age, just a number. We've heard that people say that, and the more you climb up the ladder, you kind of see where that comes to. But it's always the older guy and the younger girls, but now the MILFs are taking over. They're making long-term money now. They're like, we are older, but we still have value. We still look good because there's beauty in every single age bracket.
there really is. And there's also like, you know, rumors that like a certain age, like we don't have a sex drive or we're just not sexy anymore because our bodies have aged, or, there's just so much that needs broken down out of the mainstream media. I probably would have been doing this a lot sooner had I thought that it was like acceptable.
Yep, depends on where you are and what's going on, especially the period of life where in 2020, a lot of people did this for financial reasons, but they liked it. We couldn't go out, we couldn't work, everything shut down. We had to mitigate the stuff going on, no matter what you called it. But they knew they could make whatever they could until they could make the bigger money, but some exceeded their expectations. So now
Right.
we have that coming out. They're saying, yes, I am sexy. Yes, I am beautiful. I ran into a 70-year-old woman when I did a demonstration out here who looked maybe, I do mean maybe 50 or definitely younger than that. I couldn't believe 70 looked that hot. She looked amazing. There's beauty
I
in
love
every,
that.
you keep doing what you're doing because I'm telling you, there's an audience for it. And the American audience is so bougie. You're talking about
Yeah,
global. You got your stuff out there.com, so they're checking you out globally.
I hope so. But yeah, needless to say, like circling back around, I didn't talk to that guy anymore because he was like, you're not gonna do like porn anymore, right? Because like you're kind of older, like you have body hair and blah blah blah. And I was just like, we're done. You're done.
And
We're
did
not.
you talk to him and say, and
Sorry.
you have a big mouth, and one of my paychecks that I make, one of my productions is probably what you make in 6 months. So therefore,
You need to like open your eyes a little bit, look around.
yeah,
Yeah.
look around. And it's not his world to live in, too. We tell people we have to talk to the industry people because you go through that. You go through that in your personal life. You go through that in your private life. You go through it because if you were on the bus right now and you got on there and said, you know what, I'm a cook at McDonald's, the one will give you time of day. But you tell them you're a porn actress, I swear the bus comes to a halt, the fish stop swimming in the aquarium, people look at you like you have leprosy. And the first thing they want to know, male, definitely male, where can I see it? First words out of our mouth. I do porn, where can I look at it? Is that true?
Right. Yeah, and then there's a lot of and it kind of depends on the person, like where the question stems from, but that always slides in there, like for sure. Like, where can I find this, or what have you done, or how did it get started, or or like, do you have a partner? Do they care? Like, and then they just keep going and like I love sex. I love everything about sex. When it breaks down to it, there's enjoyment and then there's also employment, right? So a lot of people will kind of like those areas get a little like blended together. Like, well, you can't do that and like you can't have a life or whatever. Like you just have to be one or the other. And it's almost like living a double life. And so like you see me on the street or somewhere, I kind of look like a bum. Like I put on makeup for you and you saw me take my hair down, right? So
I saw the hair
um
come down. The hair looks good up or down. Okay, so I'm here to tell you, look good with what you got. I promise.
I had to dry shampoo it because it's raining today. It's nasty out, and I just look like a hot mess. But I was like, it'll be fine. We got the lighting. But I think it's just really interesting how people when they run into certain people, right, and they start talking to them and learning what they do about their lives, and it kind of changes their perspective and kind of opens their mind a little bit more to like realize like these are real people, like they're everyday people. They love what they do, they love how they do it, they love being a one-man show. Sometimes that's the case for some people, and that kind of thing. So it's like it's different for everyone, but personally speaking, I do like it when I run into those occasional people that are curious about, and it's either, and 9 out of 10 times there's questions. Like they're not just like, oh, and run away, but they're just like, so
There's gonna be the interview. That's one thing about this business. Mostly for women, the guys who do porn, guy perspective, oh man, cool, who'd you get with, blah, 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 and girl perspective, oh, he's got with a lot of girls. I may not want to check him out, but if a woman says that, I mean, you see nothing but teeth and gums from the male perspective. And some chicks go, okay, that's kind of hot too. But we do that. We're creatures of habit. We will chase the cat on this planet. It's just never going to end, no matter where we are, male, female. It's just natural or hormones. We do that. But the first person I ever spoke to about this, making this holiday and doing what I do and talking to people, whatever, she's like, I'm open about it. I tell people about it. I'm not afraid of what goes on. And we went to an event that she had a book signing kind of thing happening. And I'm telling you, it's just flies and honey. Everywhere she went, the crowd shifted. When she went over to powder her nose, the crowd shifted. Went to the cash register, the crowd shifted. And the questions were relentless. They never stopped. Never stopped. And that can be a pain in the ass. That's why people say y'all get standoffish with people. You get tired of answering stupid ass questions. Am I right?
yeah, yeah.
It's
It's kind
crazy.
of, I mean, it's good in ways, but it's emotionally and like socially draining. And then you're like, how do you not know some of this stuff or whatever? But in the same token, you feel kind of like humbled to be helpful in that way to like give them your perspective. Um, you know,
Kind of hard because it's a
yeah,
job you guys don't do like the norm. You don't go to college, get a degree, and say, I'm going to shoot porn. Some people do, but not everybody. We're structured to go to one school our lives, K through 5, go to college, meet one person, get married, go right into one job for 30 years, Monday through Friday. Can't work weekends, can't work nights. The
have
quintessential.
2.5 kids. Yeah.
Yep. White picket fence, all that good American dream, retire, watch the grandkids, blah, blah, blah. When the adult industry has kind of always been there, but when people do it, they're all about what you have done on the camera. And of course, they all want it for free.
Yes.
For free. You're doing this, like you said, for employment and enjoyment, but it's a business at the end of the day. It's a business, people. They don't go to work for free, so why should you? But someone's going to try to sweet talk you out of a full body picture, I'm sure.
Right. And sometimes it's really hard because when I started doing this, I was not even like showing my face at all. I was just doing like pictures and video clips, maybe with my face in them, just because they were for private persons. And then I was just like, I gotta step up my game. Like, I don't think this is doing the trick. Maybe they just want to see my face. Maybe that will help boost. And I'm always trying to do different things like creativity wise and ideas and themes and certain things. But when it boils down to it, like even if however you end up, or like when you start, like you're the editor, you're the light person, you're the producer, you're the model, you're everything on that spectrum. So a lot of people will just be like with their phone or whatever, and post pictures. So then you have competition of people who are like, I'm just gonna post everything. I don't give a hell. It'll give me the views, it'll give me likes, it'll give me the pull. And then there's other people that like take a lot of time and effort and spend money on the lighting, costume, like cosplay, makeup, altering things or whatever. And it's not saying like one's better than the other, but it's just a continuous like push pull against everybody else and everything else. We're all doing the same thing. And sometimes people are a bit bitter about it, and sometimes they're helpful. So, I'm always like a kumbaya type chick. I just want everyone to be happy, horny, and healthy, right? So that's my go-to. Um, but yeah, it's a lot of people when they want porn or they want to buy stuff, they don't think about everything like A to Z that goes into it because all they see is like what's in front of them
I
and not
want you
everything on the other side of the camera.
I want you to know something. See, of all the things I've done, my vanilla radio show I've had for 10 years. I've had a barbecue show on TV here locally for 5 years. I've worked for FM stations and I podcast with other people as well as this one and other various forms of communication and stuff. But see, you are the first one, my friend, to ever kumbaya on my platform. That was cool. I kid you not. When you threw that in there, like shit, this is on time right here. This is tough. I like that, man. Happy, horny, and healthy. The three H's. You know what? I may come across another holiday and put that in the mix. You never know.
You should.
Hmm.
I haven't decided what I'm doing for the holiday stuff. Last year did like some elf stuff, but I need to get on it. Um I had spent some time recouping, as you know. So I tried to get ahead for Halloween, but now that the other stuff's coming up, it's not my favorite. So it's really hard for me to get into that mode. So I think I have some ideas, but we'll see.
Exactly. That's why we are continuing doing what we're doing. We know family's going to come up, travel's going to come up, and like you said, the health aspect. Cold and flu season, it's here,
Yeah,
whether people know it or not. It may not be as cold like here in Texas, but other places you got the four changes of season and you got snow. It's like it's more or less going to be that part where we're going to have to hunker down and be healthy. And
yeah,
you can't do that while you're doing production with the tests and stuff you take, and then you got this stuff happening too. That health part is expensive.
right. It is. And I've already had a couple shoots because I'm trying to find people locally, like close by within a state range. That was my new mission before I had a procedure done in October. So that was my like new mission was to find people close by so maybe I could work with other people closer to home. I've been kind of vetting people and training them, I guess, loosely. But I had two scenes canceled because of health, because of COVID already, and it's not even like deep in the winter yet. So, but yeah, between weather like up here, I mean, it gets crazy. So I was just being proactive. I hope it's a mild winter where I can maybe travel more and it's more loose. But yeah, I'm so jealous of everyone who doesn't have to worry about like, oh, we might have a blizzard that day. I don't know if flying is going to be an option, you know? But I don't want to move. It's a lot.
She's right. You're right. We're getting right to that season. And even if you did fly, without all the sickness and stuff, you got the people who are visiting people. We're 1 week away from Turkey Day, and everybody's talking about travel car, travel train, travel plane, travel whatever. You can
Yeah.
to get to go see these people, of course, travel back, and then those delays can still affect your delay. So, it's coming. But in the same token, we still promote online. We still promote best we can, get the words out there and stuff. You may not have as much production because they got families too. They got Christmas and kids and stuff. And the average person, average, is the age of a young mom or dad with young children. Like you said, a lot of people out there,
Yeah.
they don't tell you they got kids, but they do. They're trying to keep that out of the
Right.
equation, keep that personal life going. So it's hard to balance. It's just hard to balance. But you hang in there. You look great. I know you had the procedure done. You're doing what you're supposed to do. I'm not trying to tell people where you are, but can you give us a hint about what state you live in,
I am in Iowa.
where it's cold and cornfields?
Yes. Yeah, and I realized recently within the last year, if you say Midwest, it could be anywhere from like Ohio to Nebraska to like Wisconsin down to, I mean, okay, so I basically just count anything except for like the mountainous regions and a coastal state as the Midwest anymore. So, um, yeah, but we're on the jet stream, so anything between like 115 in the summer to like minus 40 with wind chill in the winter. Like it's insane.
Yeah,
And it yeah, and it can change quickly and I don't know why I live here, but usually you have to come up with alternatives, right? So in the winter, I lean more towards like camming and backlogging stuff when I'm, solo kind of stuff. So like you kind of ebb and flow, as a performer, as time goes on and you find other ways to do things. When you do it, I love the creative outlet. I don't know about like a lot of other people, but it's really good for me in that way.
absolutely. There's people doing production in every state. It's just that some like California, New York, and Vegas, Miami, they got their regions where it's really going to be, flourishing. But at the same time, here in Texas, it's coming on strong. And believe it or not, yeah, it's a hot state. But if you go up north, north part of the state, they get the same extreme. You're talking about the coldest winters, the hottest summers. We're a versatile state. We got mountains, we got the ocean, we got city, we got desert, we got it all. And the weather changes at the drop of a dime. So
Right.
whatever you
And when
guys are
you're
going
not
to do,
acclimated to that, like I know that like your cold and my cold are different, but I still respect that because it would be like if I went to Canada somewhere, it would still be just as drastic.
yep. I came here from Europe where I was raised, and believe me, their cold is not like this cold. And people complain I'm out there wearing a hoodie and they got on a parka. I'm fine. I love the cold. It's the heat. 115,
Yeah.
16, and they can keep all that stuff. But we drink a lot of beer down here, so you got to find a way to compensate for that. It's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, tell them how to find you, your platforms and stuff like that, where they can get your content. I know you're on X, other places that you are, including Blue Sky. Thanks for turning me on to that. I went and got a profile last night, so I'm kind
Oh,
of looking
good.
forward.
Okay, great. Yeah, you're welcome. There's like a mass exodus over there right now. And they did the same thing, like they as in like the general consensus of people on a certain site like last year. So I've had the account since like September, but I didn't do anything with it. Anyway, you're welcome. I'm on like loyal fans, only fans is free. Um Mini vids, clips for sale. That's so there's stuff in my link tree that's off of my X account that lists like if it's solo or non-solo. So if that's your thing, the next thing I'm going to be getting into is I do some smut writing in my spare time. So I'm going to be doing some audios and also the Fox Den is possibly launching at the beginning of the year, which is going to enclose all of like the kink fetish stuff. That way I can kind of like separate the two for people that like more vanilla stuff, but a little risque versus the people who are into like the heavy fetish and kink realm. So that's what I'm doing. If you I'm on Instagram, Twitter or X, I mean, if you look me up, you'll find me. I'm Googleable.
Yes, right, y'all, because Laci is a fox, okay? Like I said, the fox den is where she is. You got to check out her foxhole, man. Telling you. I said it.
LACIFOXX.
I said it's my show. I could do it like that, guys. I did it
I
for
love
free.
that.
Don't you patent that now. We got to split some money on that cost,
All
okay?
right, we'll talk about it.
Definitely going to talk about that, ladies and gentlemen. So,
Yes.
want to thank everybody for being a part of this. We like to do follow-ups too. So, people we've talked to within the last couple of years, we next year decide to go ahead and revisit. One podcast is not going to get you. Just like in radio, when you put out a commercial, it's only been out 2 weeks and no one comes to your store. It takes time. It takes follow-up. It takes to where it becomes something. We all know Coke is a cola. They quit advertising. Some people quit drinking it. That's just how we're made. But the thing about it is we want to see the improvement. We want to see the growth of the people we've talked to. The sex coaches want to see that they're helping the clients. The people in the industry, making sure they're staying safe, that they're taking a TTS testing. If you don't know what that is, you're not in the industry. You got to do that if you're going to be a part of it. Even though Any testing's good, but they have to go up a little further since they're engaged more with other actors and stuff. Again, it's a healthy thing that most people do. So what they've got out there, hey, if you want to check it out, go to their link tree, go to their profiles. We're going to list hers in the back of this production once it's done. And I wasn't trying to not use my phone, but I have to because I don't have it memorized and I don't want to flip it up there and be all ghetto with it. But look here, southernpleasuresexpo.com. That's what it is, southernpleasuresexpo.com. Look for that. You will find that's the biggest Southern Expo, actually the whole biggest adult expo since Exotica came to Dallas years ago. They had a problem. It wasn't because of what they are, what they do. It's the people saying we didn't want them here, even though we are in a free country. We can do what we do. We weren't hurting anybody. So you know what? This has come along to where people are like, well, you do adult stuff, but you bring the health aspect into it too. And they got a little bit more respect from the people. So it's not as bad, but it is just as big. If you're in the industry, we encourage you to come down and see us on the 13th through the 15th. Get a table, get a booth, come to our booth. We talk to you, we'll promote the hell out of you. And in January, we got a Fetish Expo on the 11th and 12th in the heart of Dallas. I'll be posting about that one too. It's all about what we do, people. National Sex Day, June 9th on XBiz TV, on Twitter. We're also on YouTube. We got our own channel there. We're all about the industry, all about safety, all about people having healthy sex lives, be it on or off camera, somewhere in between. We're good like that. We'll see you guys next time. Have yourself a good one. Take care.